Previously on the LCS.
They get another one, a nice shockwave. Sheep comes in and gets the kill.
Zion goes for the solo. Zion finds him alone. Kill picked up. Reginald nicely played.
It looks like he's going to be in a bad situation.
There's the Cyclone, picks up one.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's two coming in for Xfinity because of the vision.
Well played, Daydreaming.
It's going to be Baron going down. Crumbs gets it for the team. Welcome to Week 8 of the North American League Championship Series Spring Split. We're coming to you live in front of this amazing audience from our studios in Los Angeles, California. Hello everyone, I'm Rivington Bislin III, and with me is Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler.
Good morning, Riv.
Good morning indeed. We've got a super week of action lined up for you. 3 days and 16 matches for the best of the North American teams to battle it out.
There's definitely a chance to see some big shakeups in Super Week. If you look at the top 3 teams, they're all within 3 games of each other, and they all play 4 games, so it definitely could happen.
A lot of chances. No one spot is safe. These teams have 12 games left to make something happen. To give you a better look at the landscape coming into today, let's break down the news out of the LCS. Starting with the announcement that Bjergsen would be out for another week, and once again in the mid lane is going to be Reginald.
Yeah, Reginald admitted that he hadn't played in 5 months, but despite his time off, he still turned in a solid performance in their game, and they held on to first place. So we're going to have to see if Reggie and TSM can hang on to the top spot through an intense Super Week schedule.
And they'll face a tough match tonight right out of the gate when they face off against the team who snapped their 11-game winning streak. That's Coast.
Yeah, Coast have been playing really well. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, and by comparison, TSM have only won 4 of their last 6 games. And Coast have shown more versatility, and all of the players have been making big contributions to the attack.
And another team that has been firing in all lanes is CounterLogic Gaming. Ended the week setting a team record with their 4th straight win.
I mean, since they brought in Dexter, they've looked like a completely different team. He's transformed their early game with his aggressive calls and his ability to read enemy junglers. And just to give you an example of why fans are so excited, CLG is only 3 games back from first place. And like we mentioned before, they've got 4 matches this week. And if there are any missteps by TSM and Cloud9, 2 teams who CLG play this week, then there's potential to see CLG at the #1 spot.
Tons of it. Always possible to see big shakeups in a Super Week. And we've got one coming from Team Curse. They're moving St. Vicious off of the Rift.
And replacing him, they are bringing in Bunny Fufu to start as support. He's coming from GGLA to the North American LCS. He's an experienced challenger player, and his most played champions are, of course, Thresh, Leona, and Morgana. Very strong guy there.
No way. And finally, starting today, teams will be playing on the 4.3 patch.
So this is the patch that includes those nerfs to Gragas, Kassadin, Kha'Zix, Yasuo, as well as a lot of item changes that are really interesting.
And turning to the European League, let's check out the highlights from their Super Week with hashtag LCS Big Plays. At Rutlifts OG says, keep your hands and feet in the ride at all times. That Thresh went for a wild ride. This moment comes from Fnatic versus SK Gaming. Here's your big play.
But they're going to come around the side. The culling comes on there. Peke's forced back away. Soaz is caught up. Freddy's chasing on towards him. It's a deep, deep hook from N-Rated. He goes very deep. Cyanide pays the price. He gets caught out there.
I love the central flay that he got when he was doing it, too. It's kind of all one fluid motion.
The drive-by flay.
I like the Bruce Lee, like water. So that play had an effect in the European standings. And, of course, being Europe, that meant a tie. Taking over the first place now is Gambit and SK Gaming.
Gambit's mid laner Froggen did take MVP. Whoa. Gambit's mid laner Froggen. That doesn't sound right. Somebody messed up there. While Rokat slipped into 3rd place with 11 wins and 9 losses.
So let's check out how the North American teams stack up now. In first place, it is Team Solo Mid, followed by Cloud9, 1 game back in 2nd.
Then it's Week 7 MVP Link and CLG in 3rd place. And sitting 2 games back in 4th place, it's Dignitas. In 5th, we have Coast with 7 wins.
And then it is a tie for 6th with Evil Geniuses and Team Curse. And sitting in last place is XDG. We'll see how that order changes after our 5 games today, starting with Evil Geniuses versus Cloud9.
And then we've got a rematch of Coast versus TSM. Their last game was arguably one of the most exciting of the split so far. And that will be followed by the surging CLG versus Dignitas. And in our 4th game, it's Curse versus XDG.
And then we will conclude the LCS day with Coast versus Dignitas. That's the schedule, so let's take a closer look at some of the players we're going to be keeping an eye on.
First up, it's going to be XDG's Sheep. He was instrumental in their big upset win over Cloud9, but then struggled in the team's loss to CLG. So we'll be looking for consistency this week.
Next up, it's Coast Wiz Fusion, who's been putting up big numbers and finding great positioning for his team fights, going 9-2-9 as Lucian in their win over Curse. 2 solid games that resulted in his best KDA of any week this split as well.
Then it's 2-time MVP Link, who will be coming in with some big expectations. His return to the mid lane has been a smashing success, and we'll be watching to see if he can keep it up during an entire Super Week.
Yeah, that does make it a challenge. Keeping pace with Link and Wiz Fusion in kills is Curse's Voyboy. He was the bright spot for his team despite their 0-2 week. He almost single-handedly kept Coast at bay in their hard-fought loss, and he really did step it up.
And finally, we're going to be watching Cloud9's Lemon Nation, who had a big game on Morgana against TSM, and his play was good last week, but he also received a lot of criticism for Cloud9's draft phase when their double AP comp didn't work against XDG.
I would be so sad if that beard is actually gone. And if that preview only whet your appetite for knowledge, head over to lolesports.com. There you can find team and player stats, in-depth interviews and analysis, and all the games from this season.
You can also reserve your spot to join our studio audience and attend one of our game day tapings for the full immersive LCX experience. Just click on the ticket link for all the details.
And while you're there, let us know who you think will take today's games. Click on Matches, select Week 8, and cast your vote. But now for a closer look at popping all